The pistol went off, the noise surprisingly shocking. He saw the flame from the gunpowder, the bullet graceful in its slow arc across the room towards him, trailing smoke as it went. It had taken years for this bullet to find him. He reached out for it with his mind, tried to catch it in his hand. It scorched his flesh before piercing through his skin and lodging in his shoulder. Pain flooded him like water from a dam. He slumped down by the workbench. Milkai was now coming towards him, the pistol reloaded, his finger on the trigger. Jan felt the folds of a taffeta skirt fall round him as one of the automata bent over to take the bullet in her back. Her stiff and dusty hair fell in his face. Her blazing eyes looked straight at him.
"We," she said, "are the Sisters Macabre. What is your name?"
"Jan Margosa," he managed to say, as he fought not to lose consciousness.
"Calico and corpses," she said,
and her graveyard breath brought him to his senses. Once more he experienced the feeling of leaving his body, as he had done in the forest. Now he stood in the middle of the room, a puppet master of the threads of light. At his command, the Sisters Macabre began to walk towards Milkai, the dusty taffeta of their skirts trailing behind them like waves upon a shore. Milkai loaded his pistol for the third time and fired at the oncoming automata. It did not stop them. Jan dragged himself up by the workbench, feeling that he was 10 feet tall and invincible. He pulled at the threads of light, lifted a chair and brought it down on Milkai's head. Milkai let out a grunt and collapsed on the floor. Jan felt a cold wax hand touch his face, and with a start, became conscious of one of the Sisters Macabre standing next to him.
"We are the Count's experiments. He believes that in us he can find the secret of perpetual youth. We have been robbed of our lives. We have been robbed of our rest. What is it you want of us?"
"Letters. Love letters written by Armand de..." Why couldn't he remember?
"Ville du Val,"
said all the sisters together.
All you had to do was ask.
If only the pain would stop, Jan thought. I could think straight.
"Is this what you came for?"
asked the sister. The fabric of her dress rent apart, and where the womb should have been, 2 doors sprang open to reveal a blood-red chamber. She reached in with her white wax hands and handed Jan a bundle of letters. A second sister pulled out a blood-red drawer from where her stomach should have been, and handed him a black book.
"This is the Book of Tears. It is bound with our flesh.
He stole our lives.
He stole our hearts.
He stole our deaths,"
whispered the Sisters Macabre together as they gathered round Jan, making sure that the letters and the book were safely in his coat pocket before they lined up once more against the back wall, their eyes closing, their mouths whispering.
"Velvet and violence,
brocade and blood, damask and death."
Jan was still clinging onto the bench when he became aware of the grisly contents of the jars. They were filled with parts of bodies. In one, a head, in another, limbs, in another, a stack of hearts. Jan's shirt was wet and he wondered why it was red. The room was spinning again, and into this unsettling scene came Milkai. Like some monster, he had grown more arms and legs, all trying to get him. Jan kicked out desperately, but still those hands kept coming. He staggered and sank to his knees. Someone should warn Tetu that Kaliowski can work the threads of light, he thought, as the curtains of his mind, blood black, treacle thick, came down for good. The show well and truly over. The end of the performance.